The Kethvar hunting grounds stretched across 3 moons, each one a carefully crafted ecosystem designed to test the galaxy's most dangerous predators. For millennia, the arena had witnessed countless species fall to the apex hunters of the void, creatures so terrifying that entire star systems paid tribute just to keep them at bay. Zixthera flexed her razor-sharp appendages, each one capable of slicing through reinforced starship hulls. Standing 12 feet tall on 6 powerful legs, her chitinous exoskeleton gleamed obsidian black under the artificial suns. 4 compound eyes scanned the terrain below, searching for movement among the crystalline forests of the second moon. Her species, the Vorth, had dominated these hunts for 700 cycles. No prey had ever escaped her kind. Today's quarry was particularly intriguing, a bipedal creature from a backwater system called Sol. The betting pools across the galaxy had already written off this human as another quick kill. Most species lasted minutes in the arena. The more resilient ones managed hours before succumbing to the inevitable. Zixthera's mandibles clicked in anticipation. She had studied the human's biological profile. No natural weapons, fragile bone structure, primitive sensory capabilities. It walked upright on just 2 legs, a laughably unstable design. The creature didn't even have proper claws or fangs. What evolutionary mistake had produced such a pathetic specimen? She descended through the canopy with practiced silence, her movements flowing like liquid shadow between the crystal branches. Below, the human sat beside a small fire, apparently oblivious to the death stalking him from above. He appeared to be cooking something. Zixthera's secondary brain analyzed this behavior as either supreme confidence or terminal stupidity. The human looked unremarkable, medium height, brown hair, wearing simple clothing that offered no protection. He moved with unhurried precision, tending his fire as if he were camping rather than fighting for his life in the most notorious killing ground in the galaxy. Zixthera positioned herself for the killing strike. She would drop directly onto the creature, her weight alone enough to shatter its spine before her claws did their work. The hunt would be over in seconds. She leaped. The human looked up. What happened next defied every hunting instinct Zixthera had developed over 2 centuries of kills. The human didn't run. He didn't cower. He didn't even flinch. Instead, he met her compound gaze with steady brown eyes that held something she had never encountered in prey before: curiosity. Zixthera landed hard, her claws extended for the killing blow. But something in that unwavering stare made her hesitate. The human tilted his head slightly, studying her with the same analytical interest she might show when examining an interesting rock formation. "Fascinating," the human said, his voice calm and measured. "Hexapodal locomotion, compound visual array, integrated weapon systems. You're beautiful in a way that speaks to millions of years of evolutionary refinement." Beautiful? No prey had ever called her beautiful. They screamed. They begged. They died. They didn't compliment her evolutionary advantages. "You're not afraid," Zixthera observed, her translator rendering the clicks and hisses of her native language into the human's primitive tongue. "Should I be?" The human stood slowly, brushing dust from his clothes. He was smaller than she had calculated, barely reaching her thorax. Yet he moved with quiet confidence, as if her presence posed no more threat than a gentle breeze. "I am Zixthera of the Vorth. I have killed over 3,000 beings in these arenas. Your species rates among the lowest in combat capability assessments." The human smiled, an expression Zixthera's cultural database identified as indicating pleasure or amusement. "I'm Marcus Webb. I teach xenobiology at the University of Mars. And you're absolutely right. Humans are terrible at single combat compared to most galactic species." "Then why aren't you afraid?" Marcus gestured to the crystalline trees around them. "Because fear is a response to the unknown, and I've spent my entire career studying the known. You're a remarkable apex predator, perfectly adapted for your role. But adaptation is a 2-way street." He reached into his pocket, producing a small device. "Your species evolved in high-gravity environments with limited visibility. Your compound eyes are optimized for detecting movement, your exoskeleton for protection against similar predators, your claws for penetrating armor. Zixthara's 4 eyes tracked the device warily. What is that? A learning opportunity. Marcus pressed a button. The device emitted a sound, not particularly loud to Zixthara's hearing, but structured in a way that made her secondary brain struggle to process it. More importantly, it was accompanied by a rapid strobe of light specifically calibrated to overwhelm compound eye structures. While Zixthara reeled from the sensory assault, Marcus continued talking in that same calm, educational tone. Humans might be physically unremarkable, but we have one evolutionary advantage that most species underestimate. We're tool users. Not just tool users, we're compulsive problem solvers. When we encounter something that can kill us, our first instinct isn't to fight or flee. It's to understand. The strobing stopped. Zixthara's vision cleared to find Marcus sitting back down by his fire, the device nowhere to be seen. He wasn't running. He wasn't attacking. He was waiting. I spent 3 months studying recordings of Vorth hunts before coming here, Marcus explained, poking at his fire with a stick. Your species has 47 distinct attack patterns, each optimized for different prey types. You have excellent hearing in the mid-range frequencies but struggle with both very high and very low sounds. Your exoskeleton, while incredibly strong, has pressure points at the joints that stop. Zixthara raised one claw. For the first time in her hunting career, she felt something unprecedented. Uncertainty. Why are you telling me this? Because knowledge shouldn't be hoarded. Marcus looked up at her again with those steady brown eyes. Your people and mine, we could learn from each other. You've mastered the art of the hunt, the perfect balance of patience and striking power. My species has mastered the art of adaptation through understanding. Zixthara's mandibles clicked uncertainly. In her entire existence, no prey had ever offered to teach her something. The rules of the arena say that one of us has to die, yes, but they don't specify which one. Marcus smiled again, and this time Zixthara recognized something new in that expression. Not prey behavior, not predator behavior, something else entirely. Partnership. You see, Marcus continued, humans have another trait that most galactic predators find unsettling. When we encounter something that should terrify us, something perfectly designed to kill us, sometimes we decide to make friends with it instead. For the first time in 700 cycles of Vorth dominance, a hunt ended not with a kill, but with two beings sitting around a fire, sharing knowledge, and discovering that evolution had given them both exactly what they needed to understand each other. The betting pools never did figure out how to pay that one out.